we are into the support last category.
Mm-hmm. Save the best for last, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Support's OP.
Yeah, you and me have some differing stuff. So in S plus tier, I have Morgana, Leona, not. You just have Leona, not.
Yep.
I think Leona, not. I don't think you and me really have to touch on those. Like, there's a reason why those are blind
they're
pick OP.
easy. You're blind picking anyways. Like, most of the times, I think support is getting blinded. So, like, I can't make a case for almost any other pick to be blinded. Like, those are just really easy to blind unless they're just pick or ban. Then you just slowly go down the list.
Now, I do love Mo's comment, by the way, of how it hurt for me to put Yumi so low, and that is true because I do like the champion.
I don't even know if I have Yumi, honestly.
But Yumi is like a pretty. Actually, I don't think you do have Yumi on this.
No, I don't. I would probably put her in counter tier.
But I think Yumi's really good. I just don't think it's as good in the DCCS. Just because you do need to know how to use her passive. You do need to know like what items you need to build. You do need to know how to interact with your AD carry, and your AD carry also needs to know how strong you are. I've played Yumi with people that don't know how to play with Yumi, and it's just disgustingly a bad time. Like, it's actually like straight up, it feels like such an in-team pick, and it feels actually super bad for me. And yeah. But
I think there's
also, I made JJ upset, by the way, because I put Zyra all the way in D tier, and that's one of my most played supports. But I'm not putting that champion in the DCCS.
It's pretty good, and I don't think it's that hard. I mean, someone can tell me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem that hard. So
it's not that hard as positioning.
Yeah, like if someone blinds Nautilus, I hope you pick Zyra. Just don't get it by the hook. Use half your brain. Just stand in the wave. It's okay. And
yeah,
you just
but here's the thing: it curves around the wave.
Yeah, come on. It is pretty broken, but
that's actually why I put more. That reason alone is why, if you look at my S tier, I have Bard, Blitz, Braum, and Thresh. Because
I disagree with your Thresh so much.
Really,
I
good.
do. I've seen
Thresh is really good, man.
I agree. Thresh is really good, but with people with hands, and so I maybe have seen like one or two like decent Threshes in like the history of DCCS. Like JJ,
one of them?
I mean, like, he could have done what he did without Thresh. I the thing he always brings up is, oh, he blocked Warwick. I blocked Warwick all this. Well, you could have done that with Aloy. That doesn't make it like mean Thresh is good. I like JJ's Thresh, like, is probably one that comes to mind, but it's not like I'm watching support and I'm like, oh, like, Thresh hit like this amazing hook or whatever. I think like, oh, Nautilus hit that great like Q. I just don't see it with Thresh. I just think it's too hard of a champion, and people don't like optimize it at all. Like, I don't see like great uses of W. It just, the champion doesn't get optimized at all.
Yeah, and I can see why you would say that, because I do think if you don't know how to play Thresh, it can be a little bit annoying. But I think most supports have put time into Thresh in most cases. But yeah, Thresh is I like the Lantern safe, how like safe the Lantern makes it. Like, you can play Thresh like a coward, honestly, and get away with it because of the Lantern is amazing utility. So even then, it just becomes like the utility of the Lantern alone. And then the fact that you land a hook inside of a team fight, it could be huge. You can start a team fight with a hook. Like, you can miss 99 hooks out of 100, but that one you land is the one that's going to win you a team fight. It's kind of the same thing as Blitzcrank. I think Blitzcrank's that same boat, where it's like you can miss 99 hooks out of 100, but you hit one that gets a squishy target that just wins a fight for you. And I think Braum is very good at dealing with champions like Nautilus Leona, just defending the AD carry.
Yeah.
And Bard is so freaking good. Highest win rate support in solo queue, and actually has a variety of keystones. Like, it makes me sad that we don't have Moose and Sir Butt Kick right now, because those two were like seriously like made watching the game so much fun, because Bard's such a fun champion to watch.
So with Bard, the reason why I have him in counter tier is I just don't think any people are good enough to play it. Like, you have to typically one trick it. And then with Blitzcrank, I don't know if I said Bard and Blitz, but with Blitzcrank, I'm surprised Blitzcrank doesn't get played enough. I feel like it'd be really good. I don't know. It kind of surprised me. I just don't know if people haven't played it or don't practice it. But like if you start playing Blitz and you like terrorize that team with your Blitzcrank, that's an auto ban. That's like has a lot of value. I just think it should get played more. And it's similar to like a lot of other like I don't want to call Leona hook champ, but like the mechanic of you hit your skill shot and you auto win the team fight. It's kind of similar.
Yeah, and another thing to actually look at to talk about is when we look at the difference in how we have some of our tiers. Like you and me have a big disagreement about Zillion, for instance. I have him in A tier, obviously. I think he's really good. You have him in D tier. Yet again, another disappointment.
We have the same thing with Nami too, or similar thing with Nami. I think both those champions are mages that can have their role played better by other mages. And like if I am playing bot lane, if I'm playing support, and I see Zillion or Nami get locked in, I am so happy. That is like such a like I don't know if I've lost a lane against either of those champions. I don't know if the people I'm playing against are just bad or something. But I just
Nami's so good, man.
I dude, you sound like a Chasu right now. I had this whole argument in season 3, a little bit of story time, where all season we would argue about if Nami was good or not. And he said Nami was the most OP champion in the world. I said, no, that champion is garbage. I do not think Nami is that good, especially in DCCS, where it's like if you don't land your bubble, have fun. Leona's in your face. Have fun. Nautilus is in your face. Have fun. Blank tank champ. Have fun. Pike, Set, whoever. If you miss, like, there's just so much value on bubble, and you could say the same thing for Blitzcrank, but like I just think like with Nami, like you miss bubble, okay, you're totally screwed in lane.
I don't agree with that because you get the movement speed, the empowered abilities off of the E, and the tsunami is really what the most important thing about Nami is. Like that is such a huge team fight changer right there. Is the tsunami like honestly like if you play a composition with a engaged champion followed up with somebody who follows up said engage, and then you use Nami, you actually should win a lot of your team fights. Like let's throw out a composition where it's like Ornn J4 and then you have a Nami support. Like the Ornn keeps them locked up, the Cataclysm or you could do the Cataclysm and then Ornn follows it up with the Call of the Forge God, and then Tsunami comes on through. Like that is actually
it's good follow up
scenario.
Just to me, the other stuff is like it's easier to me to visualize Nami like perfectly spacing. Like if a Nami comes in and like practices it, but in DCCS I haven't seen it happen. Typically, if someone picks Nami, they don't do very well, and it's similar with like Lulu, I would say. Where
how you gonna blame Sable like that, dude? Sable's been popping off on the Nami. Come on, man.
I don't know. It's hard for me to say like
You've been dropping the Sable bombs.
And maybe my vision, like my perception on it is a little bit skewed because with that new, I don't think I've played against a Nami with the new E buff, so I could see the case of like, oh, you're playing like a mage Nami botline, you're playing like a poke Nami thing. I haven't seen the effects of that, like just in general on anything that I've watched. So like maybe that skews it a little bit, but I just feel like there's so much more that the Nami has to hit than like the opposition.
If Ocean's 34 plays Nami, he's locked in some sort of hell where he has to play Nautilus Leona. So
like I'd love to see it. Like all the things that I've said, like try and prove me wrong, but like I haven't seen it.
And just to take note, Gus had put out a thing of like we have Lulu too low. The only reason I have Lulu low is just because of the fact that you can't blind her.
Yeah, same.
I don't like blinding her, and she loses a lot of points because of the fact that she's still very situational for me. So even like in a game where I play her, very situational. I would actually have a higher chance of playing Sona than playing Lulu myself, because I just think Lulu is just a champion that's a situational champion. That's fine. It's fine that that's her identity. It's just not. It's just not an identity that I would say blind pickable for me. The last thing I want to touch on really and truly is the fact that I have Maokai super high and you have Maokai super low. I think Maokai support's super good.
I wanted to put Maokai higher, and I've had friends that have played it. I haven't played it personally. I want to put it higher. It's just the same thing where it's like if Leona, Blitzcrank, Nautilus, Pike, Braum, like if all of these champions are up, I don't know why I would pick Maokai. Like, I don't know why I'd pick Maokai over Zac or Thresh or Tom Kench or Alistar. Like, unless they're one-tricking it, yeah, I can't ever pick it for my team.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I think it's good. I actually think it's good. Despite me having it in D, I think you can play it, but there's just better options.
I get it. I get it. Hey,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. With that being said, is there anything that you like after finishing up this tier list that you kind of have looked at that you're like, oh, this has opened my eyes out
Hmm.
onto into something else inside the DCCS? Or are you like, do you feel enlightened by this at all, or are you kind of like, you feel like you've enlightened the DCCS at all?
I would say I don't know. I help people. I help people change. The problem is like I want people to start playing different picks. Like I want to see Soraka top. I want to see like Vladimir and like different jungle picks and stuff. But the problem is every time that kind of starts to happen, the team usually gets trash. Now, is it like the team that's pulling out is like kind of a lower ranked team? I don't know. But I wouldn't mind seeing like different picks where like you're just not letting the other team handshake Leona. You're like, oh, they pick Leona, I have a pick for this. Oh, they blind pick Morgana, I have a pick for this. I just feel like it doesn't happen enough, and that's like mainly what I want to see more of. Like if you kind of look at my tiers, that's kind of what it's based around. Where I typically have like an easier like a blind pickable champion in my top, but even then like I have like Brandon and Zyra. I think both those champions like can be played against what's popular around support and like can be played around. I would say. I actually have a question. Does chat have any champion that they want us to talk about that we maybe missed out on, didn't talk about, places too low or too high that we maybe missed out on? There's so many champions that it's like really hard to get through all of it in a timely manner.
Game. Blazing
Teemo, trash.
I actually think Teemo's better in DCCS because people don't know how to properly clear vision, and I think he terrorizes DCCS players.
Maybe in top, that's it.
Situational. Top lane, probably his best place to be at. Mid lane, no, don't do it. You die to everything in mid lane. Every other role, don't do it. Jungle, please, absolutely not.
Nope.
There you go. That's Teemo for you. But
anything else? Come on, guys. There has to be some kind of pick. I don't even know. Like looking through. Oh, I know that one that. Man, I'm stuttering a little bit. One that got mentioned earlier in Twitch chat was Volibear support. I look at Volibear and Poppy similar, where it's like I actually think if someone insta locks Leona and you have games on Poppy, I think Poppy would be decent. Same thing with Volibear. They're pretty good into like dash champions, proc aftershock, just dual them out. It also depends on your ADC as well.
It's also like what are you pairing with it, right? Or do you have a center or something like that? Like that's like another thing too. Like is it a champion that's coming right into you? But it's like also putting it in the vacuum of is it playing with a Kalista, right? Like are you playing Volibear, Kalista? It's like Set is a better version of what the Volibear can do. In most cases because you don't have to rely on the Kalista. But Kalista is really, really good. But I like it. It's just one of those things. But Volibear mid, that's super situational. I would not recommend that.
All the intellectuals left the chat after mid lane. They know mid lane's the best role in the game.
A big one. Yeah. Rise jungle. Stop, Gus. Stop.
Wow, we got really serious answers. Surprise, surprise.
All right. Well, is that all that we have here today? Well, if it is, I say that's a good successful time on the tier list. I thought this was actually a really fun time. I feel like we enlightened people. I think we did our job. Maybe some of our talent rubbed off onto some people. Kalista top, who's going to do it? Nobody. Nobody.
We'll
unless like somebody gets changed roles to top lane, like that's the only time I see it possible.
That's possible.
Even then, I don't think I can't think of any junglers in the DCCS that have a high top jungle proximity. Like most of them have a mid bot proximity.
Yeah,
like
typically.
With like Cursed Wolf having like the highest mid, and then like you look over at like Dignitas has a high mid percentage. FlyQuest is interesting as they don't really they're a little bit spread out, but their percentages are kind of low, honestly, in comparison to like how much they're actually in the jungle farming. Yeah, it's just it's IMT is very interesting because you have two different junglers that play, and depending on who you have different proximities. So yeah, but if anybody's going to do Kalista top, I'll say Mystery Van. That's going to be my answer because
I think Xander.
That's another good one. That's another
Zen
good.
will definitely do it.
Zen will do it. Mr. Evan, I don't know where the hell he's playing, and he doesn't even know either. So that's the only reason not picking. But all right. With that being said, Zen would do it mid. That's true. With that being said, I think that is it for us here today, and I guess we'll catch everybody next time. Be sure to stay tuned. DCCS will be live every Saturday, Sunday. We're going in the playoffs. 4 p.m. EST for our Saturday games. I believe it's going to be it's
TL and 100 Thieves
and TL. So
Yep.
it's going to be that's going to be a really good matchup. So be sure to come on in and check that one on out. That
Both
being
matches
said,
should be good.
yeah, I'm actually looking forward to the most is the IMT versus FlyQuest game because I think that's just going to be pure chaos.
Pretty much. It's going to be great. I'll have my drinks ready.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed. I think we'll be putting this content up on the YouTubes.
It will be on the YouTubes.
So
Probably tomorrow.
We'll probably post those as soon as they go live onto the announcements. So that way anybody who didn't get to participate live gets to check it on out live. That being said, thanks everybody for coming out and have yourselves a great night.